All right, welcome back to the South African Morning. I'm Gareth Edwards. The Democratic Alliance's James Selfe is set to retire from Parliament. Listen to this, after almost 43 years in politics. Quite an extraordinary career. You've had Mr. James Selfe. Good to have you with us here on eNCA on the South African Morning. So 43 years later, many people are asking the question, why is that?
Well, I've got a medical condition which doesn't make me as capable of doing the job as I was in the past. I think I've had a very good innings, and I think that that's the time to hang up my spears, so to speak.
Well, I'm terribly, terribly sorry to hear that, James. I don't think many people were aware that it was due to a medical issue. Of course, that's private. We won't go into that unless you'd like to talk about it. But 43 years. I mean, you've seen some stuff, haven't you?
Well, certainly have. I've seen the state of emergency in the 80s. I've seen the move towards democratic dispensation in the 90s. I've seen the actual negotiations during the 90s as well. I've seen the era of a number of presidents, Mandela, Mbeki, Zuma, Motlanthe, and Ramaphosa, and it's been very varied in the sort of experiences that I've had. But I think they've been very, very rich, and I wouldn't have I wouldn't have swapped that for anything.
So if you had to look back after over all these years, 43 years, are we as a country where you thought we would be?
Well, I don't know whether I think we could be far further. We could be in a far better space than we are at the moment. But on the other hand, we could be in a far worse state than we are in the moment. So I think there is a lot to be enthusiastic about, but there's a lot of room for improvement, if I can put it that way.
So leaving politics, obviously very, very sad, I'm sure, but it's been bruising over all these decades as well. Are you looking forward to, and I know it's for health reasons, obviously, but are you looking forward to the day where you can just step back and go, I'm not going to have to deal with Gareth Edwards or Tula Sizwe or Tumelo yelling at me about politics? Are you looking forward to the day where you can just wake up in the morning, read a newspaper, and it's not your problem to fix?
Yes. No, I'm reminded of Derek Keyes, who was Minister of Finance in the early Mandela years, who was quoted as saying, it's somebody's problem, but it's not my problem. And I have much the same feeling.
Yeah, I have 99 problems, and the DA is not going to be them from when you retire as well. Favorite politician you've ever worked with? And it doesn't.
I'm certainly concerned.
Carry on.
I'm certainly interested and concerned about the fortunes of my political party, but I'm very, very glad it's not me who has to put my soul on the line for it.
A standout moment from your political career. You look back on this, I know it's 42, 43 years, but what would be the leading chapter in your book, which I'm sure you're going to write one day?
Well, I must say that when the Democratic Constitution was finally negotiated in 1996, I must say it was, for me, a very high point of my career, because all the predecessor parties of the Democratic Alliance had been striving for that sort of constitution, one where there was universal franchise, but there were appropriate checks and balances. And I really thought that those forefathers of our political party must have had enormous satisfaction in seeing what they had fought for translated into what was actually on offer.
Well, Mr. James Selfe, I'm going to wish you all the very best to what is going to be a retirement from politics, a well-deserved break. You can sit and watch us grill all the politicians and know that it's no longer going to be your problem. But all the best and congratulations on 43 years in serving your country in South Africa. DA MP James Selfe going to be bringing an end at terms to a very, very long and influential career in politics for health reasons. Of course, those stay personal, but all the best to James Selfe.